Welcome back to Throttle Future, where we dive deep into the most exciting and talked about bikes shaping the roads ahead. Today, we're talking about a motorcycle that's a legend on Indian roads, a bike that has defined laid-back cruising for more than a decade. The 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220. This year, Bajaj has reimagined its classic cruiser with the modern twist, blending nostalgia with new age technology, refinement, and style. Let's take a full ride through everything the new Avenger 220 brings to the table, from its performance to its design, features, and the overall experience that makes it stand out in 2026. At first glance, the new Avenger 220 immediately commands attention with its refined cruiser stance. It keeps the iconic low-slung profile, forward-set foot pegs, and wide handlebars that make the Avenger instantly recognizable, but Bajaj has enhanced nearly every detail. The fuel tank now has more sculpted lines with subtle chrome accents, the LED headlamp gets a new projector setup with DRL ring, and the taillight is now fully LED. The alloy wheels are finished in matte black with a stylish machined edge, while the exhaust has been redesigned with a deeper tone that complements the cruiser aura. The build quality feels tighter, more premium, and the color options including the new midnight blue, ebony black, and desert copper add a sophisticated touch. Bajaj has done an excellent job modernizing the Avenger without losing its soul. Under the tank lies the heart of the machine, the upgraded 220cc single-cylinder, oil-cooled engine that now meets the latest BS7 emission norms. Bajaj has tuned it for smoother power delivery and better fuel efficiency, thanks to an updated fuel injection system and refined combustion mapping. It still delivers that laid-back, torquey performance cruisers are loved for, producing around 20 horsepower and 19 newton-meters of torque. The 5-speed gearbox has been reworked for slicker shifts, especially between second and third gears, and the engine now feels less buzzy at highway speeds. One of the biggest improvements is vibration reduction. Bajaj has added improved engine mounts and revised balance shafts, making long rides noticeably smoother. When it comes to performance on the road, the Avenger 220 stays true to its cruiser DNA. It's not about outright speed, it's about the experience of gliding effortlessly down the open highway. The throttle response is progressive and calm, encouraging relaxed cruising between 80 and 100 km per hour. But there's enough power for quick overtakes when needed. The exhaust note has been tuned for a deeper, more satisfying thump that gives you that classic cruiser feel without being too loud. On twisty roads, the low center of gravity and wide handlebars give good control, though the Avenger is most at home on straight stretches where it can stretch its legs comfortably. The suspension setup is another area Bajaj has improved. Up front, you get 41mm telescopic forks with increased travel, and at the rear, new twin shock absorbers with gas-charged canisters offer a better balance between comfort and stability. The ride quality is plush and soaks up potholes and rough patches easily. Braking has been upgraded too. A 280mm front disc with dual-channel ABS and a 240mm rear disc give confident stopping power. The grip from the MRF Zapper tires adds to the confidence, especially on wet or uneven roads. Comfort has always been the Avenger's biggest strength, and Bajaj has doubled down on that. The seat has been redesigned with thicker foam and improved ergonomics for both rider and pillion. The handlebar position is slightly adjusted to reduce shoulder strain on longer rides, and the foot pegs are positioned perfectly for that laid-back cruiser stance. Bajaj also added a small but functional windscreen that helps deflect wind on highways. For urban riders, the Avenger 220 feels manageable despite its cruiser size, thanks to its low seat height of just 730mm, making it friendly even for shorter riders. On the tech side, Bajaj has given the 2026 Avenger a modern digital analog instrument cluster. The main dial retains the classic analog speedometer for that retro charm, but the inset digital display now includes the gear position indicator, fuel efficiency readout, trip meters, and Bluetooth connectivity. Through the new Bajaj Ride Connect app, riders can access navigation prompts, call and message alerts, and even vehicle diagnostics. There's also a USB-C charging port conveniently located near the tank for quick device charging. Design-wise, the Avenger 220 still exudes that timeless cruiser feel, a long, low, and commanding. The chrome is used tastefully this time around, not too flashy but just enough to reflect its heritage. The metal fenders and tank give it an authentic, old-school presence, while the blacked-out engine and exhaust add a hint of modern aggression. The bike feels solidly built, and the attention to detail is evident, from the stitching on the seat to the brushed aluminum finishes on the handlebar ends. In terms of practicality, Bajaj knows its audience well. The Avenger isn't just about weekend rides, it's a daily-friendly cruiser. The fuel efficiency figures are impressive, around 40 to 45 km/L depending on riding style, which is remarkable for a 220cc bike. The 13-liter tank gives it a solid range for highway rides without frequent fuel stops. Maintenance costs remain affordable, and Bajaj's wide service network makes ownership stress-free. One unique selling point of the 2026 Avenger 220 is how it merges old-school cruiser charm with the comfort and tech expectations of today's riders. Where most manufacturers are chasing sportiness and aggressive styling, Bajaj continues to serve riders who value comfort, character, and that unhurried joy of riding. This bike is for those who want to cruise, not race. It's a bike that carries an identity, a lifestyle, and now, in 2026, it's more refined, more efficient, and more connected than ever before. Pricing for the 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220 starts at around a superscript 11.56 lakh ex showroom in India. Considering the upgrades in build quality, performance refinement, and added features, that's a very competitive price point. It places the Avenger as an accessible entry into the world of cruisers, one that doesn't demand you break the bank to enjoy the open road. Riders looking for alternatives might consider the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 or the Suzuki Intruder, but the Avenger 220 wins on affordability, practicality, and that easygoing nature that's hard to replicate. It's a bike that appeals to both younger riders entering the cruiser scene and seasoned riders who simply love the Avenger's relaxed vibe. Overall, the 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220 feels like a well-rounded upgrade to an already beloved motorcycle. It retains everything that made the Avenger iconic: the comfort, the low-slung design, and the effortless ride quality, but it now feels more modern, refined, and ready for the next decade. Bajaj hasn't tried to reinvent it into something it's not. Instead, they've refined it into exactly what cruiser enthusiasts have been asking for: a dependable, stylish, and comfortable everyday cruiser that looks good, feels better, and performs like a true Avenger. So if you've been dreaming of long, peaceful highway rides with that classic cruiser feel, the 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220 deserves a spot at the top of your list. It's proof that even in an age of aggressive sport bikes and adventure tours, the spirit of cruising is alive and thriving, and Bajaj continues to carry that torch forward. That's it for today's full review of the 2026 Bajaj Avenger 220. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of India's most beloved cruisers, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Throttle Future, and share your thoughts below. Would you choose the new Avenger for your next ride, or are you leaning towards something else in the cruiser segment? Until next time, keep your throttle steady and your spirit free, because the road always has a story to tell.